glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we are back for another brand new video. Now really quickly, you'll probably be thinking to yourself, CJ, up there in that deliciously clickbaity title, it says player ratings. That's usually when you talk for an hour with someone, you go back and forth and you give the ratings. Yes. Also, you might be saying, Craig, that massive spot's still on your face. I know. Somehow this is Murty's fault as well. So actually back to explaining what this video is going to be. This is going to be a much condensed version of our normal player ratings because Snags, who I normally do this with, can't make it today. Baz is offshore. Paul at Seas is literally at sea. Sharpdev's not got the equipment. Batchy's not got the equipment. I'd rather die than get Simi. So yeah, we're just going to rock it, me and thee. I want to address really quickly, I did see everyone saying we should do the player ratings with subscribers. That would be a good way to be interactive. Absolutely, but me and Baz has something special and sort of planned, and it's very interactive and it's getting subscribers onto the channel, but I'm not wanting to sort of spoil that and sort of diminish it. Doing the player ratings sort of with the subscribers, so hopefully that makes sense. When me and Baz gets this thing up and running, you'll see what I mean, and yeah, it should be very, very exciting. But what I'm needing from you guys and girls and others that's going to be watching is fire in your player ratings, have a bit of fun, see other people interact. We have a community here. We have just reached 13,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. From honestly, for me to the all your likes, everyone that genuinely hits that like button, hits comments in each and every single video, you guys are building the channel. That gets other people to see it. So let's continue that. Smash that like button and let's go for some condensed player ratings. This is really weird. Normally I do this with someone else and we go back and forth, but I'm just my own now. Play the sad music. I'm Mr. Lonely. So let's just get into this bad boy. Starting for the goalkeeping position, that's going to be Fod. I'm going to give Fod a 5 out of 10. For me personally, I don't think he done too much. I don't think he was called upon. Like, I don't think he made save after save, but I don't think he made as a blatant mistake as maybe you could argue a couple of weeks ago in other previous games in the season. For me, he gets a 5 out of 10. Make sure you be firing yours down there as well. Usually I'm wrong, but tell me I'm wrong, but tell me why. That is the whole point of it. That is what our little community, the Novo Nation, taking over. Right back, going to give Tavernier. Now, I was actually really disappointed with Tav, and I love Tav. I think he's been fantastic. Again, he's up there with one of my players of the season. He's in that voting. But to me, I might be too harsh here. I'm actually going to give him a 4 out of 10. Very, very disappointed with Tav. And again, when he's like wearing this captain's armband, he needs to be getting there. He needs to get in people's faces. I did not see that from Tav at all. There was a moment in that game when they scored where we really need to be rallied and really stick in and get in people's faces and say, no, don't let this happen. Come on, come on. I didn't see it for Tav, so I'm going to give Tav a 4 out of 10. Right, let's move on to my man, Mr. Russell Martin himself. Again, I don't think he's fully recovered from these injuries that they had previous in the week, and I think sometimes you could see that. But to me personally, out of the two centre-backs, I thought he played the better, so I'm actually going to give him, surprisingly, even though it's a low score, I'm actually going to give him a 4 out of 10. So yeah, he didn't play great. 4's not a high score, but compared to Bruno, he played better of the two. So yeah, let's just move on to Big Bruno. Now, I stuck up from last week after he was getting absolute pelters from basically everyone on Talking Balls. I stuck up for him, said I thought he had a good game, because he did against Celtic. This was the very frustrating. Obviously, he picked up a booking as well, and I just didn't see it. I thought some of his passing was absolutely horrendous. Genuinely horrendous. I gave him a 3 out of 10. Moving on to the left back, and that's going to be DJ. We all love him. DJ, I think he's going to be the highest out of the outfield players so far, and there was a couple of wee things he'd done in the first half, but again, as the game went on, I think his influence just vanished, so I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 as well. Let's move to Dockery and let's get some of the hopes up and let's get a bit of positivity, because genuinely he played good. Looking back now, again, I make my fan recaps as soon as I can, usually within the first hour of the game finishing, so I've got a lot of emotions in my head and I'm trying to concentrate and make a video, and that's hard to do. If any of you have ever done it, make a video about it and explain yourself. Not always properly, but it's definitely hard. So maybe I undercut and undervalued his performance, but looking back, I thought he was a real standout. He was doing like 3 men's work, because I thought Goss and some of the other boys we'll talk about was doing nothing. And I think if he was just having to do his job, I thought he'd have been excellent. But because he was having to do others, that's maybe where some people saying he didn't play as good of a game. So Dockery, he's going to get a 7 out of 10 for me. Again, not an 8, a 9 or 10, because I think he was having to do too many people's job to really focus on himself and make himself look like an absolute star. He was doing 3 men's job, but there is definitely a player in there, and he's going to be absolutely special. When Jack comes back in that midfield as Jack and Dockery, that is going to be special. No more lightweights in the midfield when those two bad boys are playing together, in my opinion. Let's talk about Sean Goss. Sean Goss, now, a couple of weeks ago, me and Baz made a podcast and we were talking about some of the players that we'd play against Celtic if they were all fit. And we all picked Jack and Docherty as our midfield players. Everyone slaughtered us saying Goss needs to be in there. A couple of games later, everyone wants Goss's loan finished. There is a very good player in Goss. He's just in a wee bit of a downward spiral. Again, this happened for Hyman last year. Came in, played a good 4 or 5 games, and then just sort of fell away. And it kind of looks like Goss is doing the same for the last couple of games. He's been posted missing, but there is a good player in there. But for me personally, he should have been subbed off a lot sooner than he was. I'm going to give him a 2 out of 10 because I thought he was pretty terrible. And let's obviously talk about Mr. Consistent. That is going to be Candace, aka the Papach of the midfield. Very disappointed with him. He was one of the ones that really surprised me because I thought, you know what, the rest of the team's sort of down tool and it looks like they've kind of lost their way. But Cadiz is always that bright spark. He always tries to make things go on, but just nothing went right for him. And it hurts me to say, but I'm going to give Cadiz the lowest score I've given him ever in the player ratings. And I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. That feels really bad to say, Rocky. It genuinely does. Yes, how are you feeling, Rocky? Do you want to show the people? Show the people. Show the people you're not happy with this. So let's flip sides now and let's go to Jamie Murphy. Now, Jamie Murphy done a couple of good little dribbles, but there is a thing that Motherwell fans used to say, and it was like, he's really good at running, but he always just cuts back and do the same thing, and he was starting to frustrate me because he seemed to do that. See if this is familiar. Beats his man. Runs. Beats his man. Cuts back. Passes back the way. Sound familiar? He has got the talent, but that was actually a very, very poor performance for Jamie Murphy, so he is going to get, again, the 4 out of 5. So 4 is just below average in my opinion, too poor. This one hurts me, to be honest with you. Let's move on to Josh Windass, the man that I always stick up for, even though he is the most deadliest player in the SPFL. Stats didn't lie. He's been involved in 21 goals in the SPFL, more than anyone else. He's a joint top goal scorer. He plays in midfield. Josh Windass, you're going to get a 3. Josh Windass, 3 out of 10. Now, Jason Cummins is a bit of a hard one because everyone knows how excited I was that he was going to be playing. I was expecting a more of attacking mindset from the players because I think they were very lax, very slow, flat was someone's comment, and it just explained it perfectly. And I think he had less than scraps to feed on. Had one half chance where he was right at the goalkeeper. He tried to flick it along, but the goalkeeper was right there. That's all I can think. But his service was so bad, and I'm not making excuses for him. All I'm saying is you have to base him on that game. And I didn't see enough for him, so I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 just because he wasn't involved as much. He came back, he made a couple of good slide challenges, he tried his hardest, he definitely worked, but the rest of the team let him down. And again, when he didn't score, when you drop Morelos, who scored that amount of goals, you're kind of relying on a goal. But again, that 5, I think, is mainly based on what was round him as well, because we know what we get with Cummins. You have to create the opportunities, and he will score them. We've got one player who misses his opportunities and creates his own. We've got another one who takes his opportunities, but is reliant on the team creating them for him. If only we could combine them. Speaking of missed chances, let's do the substitutions now, and we'll start off with Morelos. Again, I don't know how he never scored that one when it went off the bar. All he needs to do is volley it in my opinion. There's been a lot of people saying it was the bounce that tricked him out, or it was too low. But to me, you just kicked that one in. But he missed it. So I am going to give... It's a hard one with Morelos. Well, I'll give him a 5 because it's just the same as Cummins, because I don't think either of them had enough time to impact the game. But again, Morelos should go to be scoring these chances, mate. That's another one. It's not as blatant as the Celtic one, but that's another one in my opinion. Stu Hamilton, I know you agree. And let's move on to Sean Goss. Obviously came off 60 minutes too late, and Jason Holt came on. And to be honest with you, Holt, he kind of ran about, but to me personally, sorry Mark Menzies, he didn't do much, so 4. And Kenny Miller, King Kenny, I love you, mate, to bits. I'm worried. I'm really worried about your playing future if you're going to be playing football. I think this is your last season, and you deserve to go out on a better circumstance. I hope you go out with us winning a cup. I genuinely do, because your career, your legacy at Rangers certainly deserves that. But you didn't do much when you came on. I'm not even going to give him a rate. I don't think it's fair, because I don't think he was given enough opportunities or enough time to make a difference. So, yeah. So that is going to be my squad, and I'm going to really quickly do Murty, because Murty, again, is a very frustrating one, because it's splitting, because I'm seeing so many tweets, I get tagged in so much stuff, and I see all your comments, I know how you feel, I know how I feel. I've always said, even if you go back and look when we were winning, he is still tactically naive. I made jokes about his subs, I knew it was going to come back and bite us in the ass. I always said the cup was the most important thing for Murty, he has to get it right. But the fact that he's not learning from his mistakes, he's so blatant mistakes, is really starting to grind on my gears. So for the second consecutive week, I'm going to give Murty a 0. out of 10. Starting 11 was strong. I think he picked a strong 11, but I don't know, the players didn't look motivated. He came out after the first half, the players still didn't look motivated. So you can say, you can say that about Murray, but it's on the players. It's your job to motivate these guys. When these guys are coming at half-time, they've played so poorly, pull them fucking off. Get in their faces, kick boots at them, Sir Alex Ferguson style. Dinna dare let the players come back out and play as bad as that. And we wouldn't have won 1-0 behind, but he didn't. I know he's inexperienced, blah, 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 but he's no learning from his mistakes, and that is why I'm going to give him a 0. I know there's always going to be that argument and say, yes, he's inexperienced, Craig, that is why he's making these mistakes. But my whole thing is this is Rangers Football Club, not a junior squad. When you're given this opportunity, you need to grab it by the balls. And I just think he's not learning now. 7 home defeats out of 9 is under Murray. He's just not learning tactically what to do. Kilmarnock played the exact same way they played against us the last 3 times. There was no adjustments. We played right into Stevie Clarke's hands. So that's actually going to be the video all done and dusty. Make sure to be putting your ratings down below. And how do you feel about my ratings? I know we normally back and forth when we discuss it on live, but again, there's no one else here. I didn't want to just drag it out for an hour. I want to give you guys my quick ratings and also give you guys an opportunity to fire it down below. Guys and girls, Craig, why do I keep saying that? So now that that's finally done, we can move on to more positive things. Grab your refreshments, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. 3, 2, 1. Sponsor break! I've been CJ Novo 92. That has been Rocky Boy Johnson. That has been Andy. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.